How you doing, everybody? I'm out at the Neshaminy Creek at Playwicki Park in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. I've been here probably about a half an hour so far, just testing things out before I started filming. So right now I got my Temple Forks Outfitter Lefty Crab Professional Series 5-weight, 8'6" 4-piece fly rod with my Akuma SLV 4-5 weight reel, and I'm just throwing a little white bass popper. You know, kind of beat up, but you know, the fish really don't care too much what it looks like. So far today I caught one rock bass and had a few follows, so not too bad. Just kind of feeling things out. There's a lot of aquatic vegetation in the water, which is one of the reasons I'm throwing a popper. Try to stay out of that mess. The other reason is it's if you can't tell, it's pretty cloudy. They're calling for, you know, pop-up thunderstorms throughout the day. So usually when it's cloudy, top water bites a little better. So plus I think top water is a little more exciting to see. You can actually see what's going on when you're fishing. So if you're ever starting out fly fishing, definitely recommend the top water little bass poppers, or you know, bug imitations or what have you, especially if the water's as calm as this. I'm in a really slow pool here. It actually goes on for quite a ways. I'm usually I usually fish here throughout the year. It's just easy to access, easy to wade. Fish tend to congregate by the rocks and by the vegetation this time of year. When there's vegetation, there's probably a lot of glare, so you probably can't tell, but there's a lot of you know, exposed beds. A lot of the red breast sunfish were bedding. They're still hanging out. So if we happen to get into some of those, you know, it gets fun because they're really big, obviously right now. But yeah, I'll keep wading upstream until I see something that looks like it's worth to stop and fish, and I'll turn the camera back on, right? Okay, I'm still at this section. I've gotten two hits, but again, no hookup. Not really sure why. If the fish is just that's hitting it is just really small, which is entirely possible. But I am getting some interest, which is good. I see something following, just not totally interested. Yeah, he's following. He's just not 100% interested. I think I may change away from top water. Might go to like a woolly bugger. Yeah, there's something following it for sure. Oh yeah, there's fish here. They're very leery. Alright, I'm gonna have to switch over to something else. Hold on. Okay, had to switch the battery out. But in the meantime, I changed my flyover to basically like a little Clouser Minnow, but being that red, black, or pink black looking, and it's going to be towards the bottom, it could easily imitate, you know, like a crawfish or something like that. So hopefully the fish go for it. We'll see how successful we are with this. Again, I cast it a couple times with it, and of course, you know, getting junk all over the line, all over the hook because of all the, you know, algae and underwater vegetation. But you know, if the fish aren't taking it on the top, that's what you got to do. So I might have to clean off the hook a few more times than I want, but if I catch fish, then it's worth it, right? So let's get it out there, back in the same spot, and let's see how much more successful we are. And again, I'm going to try to retrieve this decently quick. There we go, first shot, look at that. First cast. Just trying to run, but this is a 5-weight rod. I'm just going to let him tire himself out. Just going to put the tip up, let him drag across the top of the water. Looks like a red breast sunfish. Wet my hand. Look at that, right in the bottom of the mouth. He took this, no problem. Let's take a look at him. Right, red breast sunfish, clearly. Very cool. But look at that, change the fly up, and we got a taker. That might have been the problem all morning, but we'll see. Oh yeah, that looks great in the water. Looks like a little like minnow, and it's just, actually it's more neutrally buoyant than I was expecting. But that was a great first result. Oh, had another one, jeez. It's a little slow, he took it, but I missed him, unfortunately. Oh, got one. Now hopefully these guys don't take it too deep, because I really don't feel like having to get my forceps. But it looks like I got this one corner of the mouth, or bottom of the mouth, top jaw. Oh, he's gonna run at me, okay. Again, this is a 5-weight rod. These guys aren't gonna, let me wet my hand. These guys aren't going to stress this rod out at all. But, you know, can I use a 5-weight to catch these guys? Of course I can. You know, not as big as the last one, but another red breast sunfish, right? Oop. Alright, let's get it back out there. They seem to like this. Not sure if they think it's like some sort of minnow, or, I mean, in the water it could be a fish, you know, a little tiny, you know, bait fish or whatever, but not sure if that was the fish that I just caught, but I saw one kind of streaming across right there. Oh, oh, there's a bigger one. There's a bigger, whoa. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger. Woo. Hopefully my knots hold up. Look, he's trying to get me in the grass. Got him out of the grass. He's trying to get into the grass again. Yeah, this is much bigger. Again, looks like another red breast sunfish. Actually pretty hefty, I'll tell you what. Again, I'm gonna have to wait till he kind of tires out. There, yeah, he's done. Looks like I actually got him on the outside of the mouth, but he swiped at it. Oh boy, that is a big one. And he definitely got it in the side of the cheek, which probably isn't too pleasant, but that is a pretty big one. Not the biggest I've ever caught here, but that's a good specimen. Of course, this is what I'm talking about, getting all that junk on your line. Just adds to the frustration. You know, when you got to start peeling that off your fly, and you know, it all just kind of messes up your presentation. You know, you got to pick all that junk off because the fish, you know, they're not going to want it with that on there. So, all right, this is turned out to be good right here. This little deep hole. So what's nice is I think we can use this on the way back. And again, this is a, ooh, there's another one. Again, red breast sunfish. At least that's what it looks like. Yeah, red breast sunfish. Whoa! He's trying to make a run. Yeah, he or she, whoa, I was gonna say is tired out, but oh, this one took it deep. No. Alright, we're gonna have to get some forceps probably on this one. Oh boy. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Yep, I'm gonna have to get some forceps. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but walked the fish back kind of to where my bag is with my forceps. You know, again, I usually have them on me, but you know, didn't think with such a big hook I'd be getting them stuck in too far deep, but it happens. And just walked it over and kind of left it in the water and clamped on with the forceps because they'll clamp, and then just kind of, you know, upended it, you know, saw which way the hook was turned. Excuse me. And, you know, popped right out. So yeah, now we're back out. Get to cast again, and hopefully we get something different than red breast sunfish, but I'm not complaining. Looking for, you know, maybe like a smallmouth bass, or even a, you know, small largemouth bass, I guess. Oh, definitely had one. I think I pulled it a little too soon. Because again, I don't want these things to absolutely swallow this fly. Oh yeah, they're chasing it. I get it a little further back, it's just going to be, you know, forget about it. It might be getting wise to me, but what's nice is that fly kind of just slowly just dives down, and then when I'm retrieving it, kind of just, you know, looks like a dying bait fish almost. So I'm going to cast over closer to the rock. Again, I can't see as well over here, like what's in the water, but if something comes and takes it, I can kind of see it. Looks like something's stuck on this fly. Oh no, yeah, there's something going on with the fly. There we go. So again, you want to make sure your fly looks like it should, because again, any little deviation, it's just not how it was designed. You know, it obviously was designed for a reason. So if it's not pulling through the water and looking right, it doesn't look right to you. It doesn't look right to the fish. Oh, oh boy. A little bit further. What's nice is this is a big heavy fly, so. Oh boy. Man, some of them are aggressively taking it, and some of them are just kind of like more gingerly coming up and trying to take it. So this looks like a bluegill. First impressions, but we'll get a look at it when it comes out. Let's see. No. Looks like another red breast sunfish. Again, look at the size of the mouth. I mean, there's absolutely no way that thing thought it was eating that fly, but I guess he thought he was eating that fly. I'm going to have to get my forceps again, because this is just way too deep. Way too deep. I might be able to... Again, sometimes you got to go in to go out, but... Jeez, oh boy. Alright. Alright, I'll see if I can get this on camera. It'll probably be hard, because, you know... but, you know, drug the fish over here. Kind of see, right? Kept him in the water as long as possible. Because really, he can still breathe. He's not really bleeding. So this just would be an obstruction more than anything. Look at that. It came right out. Okay. Again, I'm not using barbless hooks, but there is just the slightest, I don't know if you can make it out, slightest barb on the end of that, not much. So, I mean, really nothing left to really pinch down. I could probably file it down. But again, it's more of how deep these fish are taking it, you know, when they're being very aggressive. So if they weren't so aggressive and basically just absolutely devouring the thing, I could, you know, get them in the side of the mouth, but they're competing for food, so they're going to be as aggressive as they want to be to make sure that they catch that food, right? So, and it's more of, you know, them trying to outcompete with the other ones than, you know, thinking they're going to miss the food and the food's going to escape. Let me just get set back up again. Again, it's getting windy. If it starts to get any darker, if I start to hear thunder, I'm definitely out of here. It'll be a long trek back, so maybe another couple minutes and I'll start heading back, because it's just, the weather is just not cooperating. And I know it's in the forecast for some rain and thunderstorms and windy conditions. So, try to cast way over by this rock. Oh boy. boy, something went after it. I think there's some junk on my line that I might have been able to skirt it off. It looked like I saw like a bass come shooting by, so I'm kind of hoping. No, red breast sunfish. Oh man, these things are massive. Oh. If I was using my 3-weight, these things would take a little bit longer to wrestle in, but this 5-weight makes pretty quick work of them. Okay, let's see if we can keep this one in the water. No, I gotta use 2 hands. Alright. Another big fish. Just kind of copy paste with these fish, man. They're all about the same size. Coming in at, 3/4 of a pound or whatever. They're decently heavy. Obviously, with the ones that were on the beds the other day, I'm sure they've all bulked up or are bulking up, pre-spawn, post-spawn. They're just going to be massive in size. This wind is not cooperating, but you can still cast. It's not too bad. Just got to watch the amount of false casts I want to try to present. Yeah, there is a bass that keeps... He's cruising. He's very, very skittish. Every time I kind of pull the fly across the water, he's just like, whoa, get out of my way. So I'm not sure why. I'm assuming it's a bass. It's larger than the fish I've been catching. It looks like it has a horizontal stripe, so it looks like some sort of largie. Not massive, but much bigger than the fish that I'm catching right now. Be nice to hook into that. This wind is a little concerning. More than anything else. Alright, let's see if we can hook into something to talk about. Something a little more photogenic, I guess would be the word. Not saying that the fish I've caught so far aren't nice to catch. Just nobody gets too impressed usually with red breast sunfish and rock bass. And, ooh, looks like another red breast sunfish, to be honest with you. Look at all that junk on my line. Holy moly, what is that? Them winds are picking up. I might be out of here. Right in the side of the mouth. Comes right out. Away she goes. Away she goes. Alright, this has turned out to be a pretty good spot. So yeah, top water. I mean, you saw me throw top water over here. I mean, nothing, right? I mean, a couple little taps, but nothing really committed to eating anything. I start throwing this, and I mean, first cast, it's just productive, right? So it's slowing down a little bit. I think the fish are on to me, but it doesn't mean I can't move 10 or 15 feet upstream and start hitting some slightly new ground. Wasn't exactly a fantastic cast, but there's something. Ooh. Keep the pressure on. He's coming at me. And it's a red breast sunfish. Yep, just keeping pressure. He'll tire himself out. It looks like it's the side of the mouth, which is what I want. Wow, that's a fat one. That'd be a fat one. I mean, look at that. That is a chunk. Pretty cool looking fish. Oh, look at that. Just changed, you know, right where I was throwing. Kind of a little bit further than where I was throwing, and start running into a whole different pack of fish, you know. So, God, it's deep here. Oh, get out of that muck. There we go. There's a lot of floating scum on the water, and again, not sure why, but it's possible just the water stirring it up, and the canoers are stirring it up, and whatever, what have you. See if I can get, there's like a rock that I can kind of, oh yeah, there's two big rocks right there. Let's see if I can, and again, with my line being so kind of curly, as soon as it straightens out, you know, and you feel weight on the back of it, it's like, yep, you got a fish. It's really the only way to tell when you're fishing subsurface. Your line straightens out and you feel like you're stuck on something. Oh, there's something. Oh, I'm gonna bet it's a red breast sunfish. If it's anything else, I'll be surprised. It's kind of fighting like one, but we'll see. Yep, another big red breast sunfish. It's another big one. Looks like the top of the mouth this time. Perfectly in the top of the mouth. There we go. There we go. Kind of right in the same spot, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, this fly has been very productive. I mean, I would say almost every other cast it's helped catch a fish. I'm starting to work my way up a little bit because, ooh, something definitely hit it. But I was a little slow on the hook set. this water's getting deep. If something's chasing it. Oh, I got him. Man, that was a very gentle take. Looks like another red-breast sunfish, but I mean, that thing just barely just opened up its mouth and swallowed it. Again, pretty much barbless, not completely barbless, but I'd say it's one of the skinniest barbs, if you want to say it's a barb, but just barely like a little lip of metal, not sharp at all, like what you would consider a barb. Again, I'm trying to get almost like right under that tree. Just keep working my way through this little hole here. What the heck? Oh my gosh, I thought it was a fish for a second. It's coming through the water. Had a big profile to it, but kind of see why I was avoiding going into the water with my bait, but my fly. But you can see it's been pretty much worth it. I'm trying to get a little further out so I can kind of cast over here, but water is really, really deep right in this one section. Oop. Luckily I don't have anything in my pockets, and I got to change the clothes back up my car. But you know, you don't want to be walking around wet for a couple miles if you can help it. Probably a good, I don't know, 2 miles from my car, so nothing crazy. Ooh, there's something. And again, the further I get this way, the further I am from my forceps too, which, you know, I'm hoping these fish aren't full on taking it, but you can see easy release. I mean, just to be able to upend that fly one-handed. Oop, there's something. Oh boy. Yeah, this is definitely what I would say almost like a Clouser style fly is just absolutely destroying these fish. Are just, oh, look at that, just hit the water. And some of these fish are just barely taking it. You know, they're still leery. They're just, you know, putting their mouth on it, and the other ones are just like, yep, that's food. Oh boy, yeah, there's a lot of fish in here. Yeah, and I'm getting a little deep here, but not too big of a deal. Trying to hook into something that's a little, boy, that looked big. Again, it's just a little flash in the water. So again, tough to tell being so far away from it, but when it makes as big of a flash as that did. Oh, there's something. And barely took it. He didn't take it and run. Oop, it came right off. Oh, now I'm all jacked up here. Let's see. There we go. Didn't take it and run, just kind of took it and almost just stopped. You know? Just weird. Those ones are just... And again, they're not taking it on like when I'm pulling it. They're taking it on like the drop. So again, it's where I'm not basically connected to that fly with 100% pressure, right? When I'm on it with pressure, I can tell right away that they took it. But when it's on the drop and they take it, like that one just did, but I didn't hook them. Yeah, when there's pressure constantly on the fly, you know, you obviously can tell right away when you're hooked up. But when there's no pressure, you know, until you start tugging again, it's anybody's guess if you got a fish on. But I can kind of see them hitting it on the drop, and again, they're just barely, you know, committing to it. What's nice about there not being sun, this glare is greatly reduced. So I don't have polarized glasses on, but I'm really not struggling to see through the water. And again, I'm not relying on visually seeing that the fish are taking it. I'm more relying on the feel on the rod. There's some grass through here, so might have some sensations of having something on my line, but again, it's probably, you know, now that I can see the grass, it's probably, I'm just getting caught up on some grass. Kind of letting it just kind of die right around that grass. See how quick it just kind of, you know, it was on and now it's kind of off again, but that just may be, I'm just, you know, in a section that these fish are kind of just used to me right now. A little more leery, they're hearing a lot of distressed fish in the area, maybe they're reacting to that. I don't know. What I like to do is, now that I haven't hit this area in a while, kind of come back over here. Hit this little section. You know, get one of those stragglers that kind of didn't fully commit the first time for whatever reason. Maybe I'm seeing it from a different angle. Get them sighted enough to fully commit. Nothing. Let's get a nice far cast. Stretch that line out. Again, I can't see what's over there, what structure's in the water, but oop, I got something, or I'm stuck on grass. Nope. Hopefully feels like a fish. Hopefully I didn't take too long to set the hook and he got it all the way down into his throat, but we'll see. If he did, I'll just walk all the way back to, oh yeah. This one I'm gonna have to go get the forceps. He's got it way down there. Well, let's see. Let's see what we can do. He's just barely hooked. Come on, buddy. There we go. Look at that. Sometimes you gotta get wind to go out. So I was able to push and I felt it dislodge and kind of just let gravity take over. Oops. Don't want to do that. I don't want to pull my my fly line loop through the upper guide. That's not good. But a lot of red-breast sunfish, man. I'll tell you what. I'm surprised there hasn't been anything different. Like I said, the first fish I caught earlier was a rock bass, and pretty big sized rock bass. I mean, I'd say about as big as they get in the Neshaminy Creek. But ooh, something just came out and swiped at it. Oh, yeah, yeah. And then a red. Whoop. Wow. It was like 3 different fish on the same cast, and none of them took it. Again, I don't want to really let this thing die too much and kind of just let it sit there, but because I'm afraid the fish will ingest it too far, and it's just, you know, just not pleasant for anybody. But they seem to be liking it more. Like when it starts to do its little dive down, like it's dying. Ooh, there's one. Oh, yeah, see? I'm letting it dive, and then I got no direct line or good connection to it with the line, because the line's slack. So they kind of have a chance to spit it out before I can really get them, and nor do I feel them either when they're taking it on that dive. I guess that's what the advantage is with, I guess when you're Euro nymphing, you constantly are keeping that, even though it's not actively moving by you, it's just kind of drifting downstream. You're keeping a constant tight connection, so you're not missing those gentle grabs. Yeah, I'm just trying to still stay in the same general area, because it is pretty deep in here, but it seems like the fish are stuck in some grass there. The fish are definitely being a little more selective, not just outright attacking this fly. They're kind of just, let me feel it. It's funny too, because you'll see other fish kind of almost chase them away, right? Like one fish is almost like warning the other fish. They chase them away and actually almost scare them away from biting your fly. But you can also see this thing's getting all tangled up and beaten up already, but we're still going to throw her. Just letting her die. Letting her die. Pull it through the grass. I guess while we're not catching fish, I can talk about this fly rod. So this is a TFO fly rod. Oop, oh geez, there's a fish. TFO fly rod, right? Temple Forks Outfitter. And it's a few years old. I actually picked it up from, oh, there's a fish. Oh, he's off. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. So a woman had listed it, I guess for her husband, saying she had a bunch of old, not old, but just some used fishing equipment, and most of it was like saltwater stuff, you know. And this happened to be the only fly fishing equipment that she had listed. And I think she had it listed for, whoops, something's got my line or I'm snagged. I think she had it listed for, I think, $50. Can't remember at this point, I bought it a year ago. But I think she had it listed for $50. It looked brand new. I mean, it didn't look like he ever fished with it. So I had asked her, I said, you know, has it been fished? And she's like, maybe once. You know, she wasn't really sure. So, and geez, oh man, these fish are like taking it from the side and not getting the hook in them. So anyways, I said, yeah, I'll come pick it up. You know, 40 bucks. This is a, you know, I think brand new, almost $160, $70 rod. Right? They don't make this version anymore because this is the Series 1. They make the Series 2 now. But again, a Series 2 is probably, you know, close to $200 with tax. I mean, so for $40, which I think is what I told her I'd pay for it, plus, you know, drive an hour to go meet her because she's down in New Jersey along the coastline, it was worth it to me. You know, I can get my hands on a rod that has a lifetime warranty. You know, no matter who owns it, they guarantee a lifetime warranty on it. So it's the life of the rod, not necessarily the life of the rod with the original owner. And she threw in a rod tube, not a TFO rod tube, but still a rod tube's a rod tube. And for 40 bucks. So I figured, what the hey, I'll come out here, give it a try. Again, I've got quite a few fly rods. And this one, I originally thought, I was like, oh, I'll just sell it. You know, 40 bucks, I paid for it, cost me probably 10 bucks in gas to go get it. You know, I'm into it 50 bucks, basically, in my time. And there we go. There's something. Get out of the grass, please. Get out of the grass, there we go. And I figured I'll just sell it. You know, even if I sell it for 100 bucks, it's 50 bucks profit. Well, it's been sitting there, I haven't sold it, and haven't even attempted to sell it, and I figured, let me get out there and try it, see. Ooh, I don't know how long I was talking without having anybody listening, but anyways, just talking about this fly rod. So